the cheapest is not all the best. And I've done a lot of on-site consultations now over my journey as a builder, and I've heard so many people that went for a cheap builder and it just turned into disaster. And when I dive into them conversations, because that's what we do now, we actually sit around that table and I've nearly the arms across. So when you find that builder and you find the builder that you think he might be a bit expensive, but if he has good processes and systems, it doesn't matter how long it's going to take because it is a journey. So that's my goal of it. Just make sure you find someone and if you like them, snap them up because they're hard to find nowadays.
Thinking about building or renovating? Or maybe you are already knee-deep in a project now. Are you feeling unsure of which steps to take and if you are making the right calls? You're not alone. Welcome to Builders Beyond Borders, the podcast where experienced Aussie builders share real stories, insider tips, and practical advice so you can build with confidence, avoid costly mistakes, and actually enjoy the journey. Let's dive in.
Welcome to Builders Beyond Borders. My name is Hugh, and I'll do a little bit of an intro here just to introduce ourselves as the builders that are going to be giving you a little bit of information. And as this is our first podcast episode, we're just here to introduce ourselves and find out, well, not find out, but actually give a little bit of information about ourselves, but also the purpose of this podcast and where we're actually going with this. So once again, my name's Hugh. I run a business called New Realm Homes in the eastern suburbs of Melbourne. And my specialty, I guess you could say, is heritage homes. And we do this sort of thing, we have been doing this for about 25 years. And we love the heritage homes and just being able to sort of revamp the homes. But I guess you could say the purpose of being on a podcast like this for us is being able to bring the information that you don't necessarily get to hear from a builder or from even sometimes your friends about what's a good thing to be doing when you're building. What are the bad things? What are the pitfalls and all this sort of thing as well? I guess you could say right now, just out to be able to help people, help homeowners and everybody out there be able to get a better result from building their home, renovating their home, and doing any kind of work around their home as well. When it comes to it, we're a wonderful group of builders that have come together to be able to support everybody out there. So I'm going to kick it over and let everybody else introduce themselves and what they do as well. So to start off with, I'm going to hand over to Matt from the great state of Victoria as well.
G'day, guys, and welcome to the podcast. A little bit about myself. We're a registered builder down in southwest Victoria at the start of the Great Ocean Road, I guess. We don't really specialise in any type of construction per se, but we really enjoy the renovation and extension challenges that are there in front of us. We do a lot of bathroom renovations and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, I guess the reason for me wanting to jump into this podcast with everyone here was for education for clients and just to be able to smooth things over, just to give people a more realistic idea about what's changing in the building industry, what's the same in the building industry, and all that sort of stuff. Because lots of things have changed over the last 5-10 years, and this is a great platform to be able to bring everyone up to speed so that we can all enjoy the experience along the way. So that's, why I'm here.
It's wonderful. Wayne and Lee, give us
Yes.
your rundown.
So we're registered builders in a little town called Warwick-the-Beale, which is about 4 hours from north of Melbourne or northwest. We specialise in building lifelong homes for people that are building their final home. So we make sure that it's all set up that they can remain in there forever and hopefully not ever have to get put into aged care. Our big thing is really making our clients have the best building journey that they can possibly have and avoiding all the nightmare stories, and being part of like all the guys in this podcast are all part of this group too. So yeah, that's what we're a bit about. So Lee,
So we wanted to come onto the podcast is because of connection with you guys, also connecting to our clients and anybody else that wants to be educated and ourselves to be educated on what anybody else that comes into the podcast is going to bring. And, there's always something that we can learn. So it's learning for us, but also educating.
Wonderful. All righty. Paul.
Oh, yeah, I'm based in Canberra. I'm a registered builder in the ACT and New South Wales because we do a bit of surrounding rural work. Even Canberra's only compared to most capitals, it's still a fairly small town. It's a dot in the middle of New South Wales, so we tend to need to do a bit of work in both areas. So we specialise in custom built houses and sort of high end extensions. We do the bigger ones most of the time, the bigger extensions and the knockdown rebuild sort of stuff. So, but yeah, the community's great, and the reason that we want to be in this part of this is to try and help iron out all the pain points and the pitfalls and things that we come up against, because it's a constant learning curve and a work in progress to try and keep improving things because of all the changes and trying to keep up with it. And it just makes it a lot easier when you've got a few like-minded brains in a group that can sort of put their heads together, try and come up with ideas and solutions. So that's what's really great about this.
Good to hear. Dean and Shannon.
We are builders in the north of the great state of Tasmania. We service the greater Launceston region, and we specialise in extensions, renovations, bathrooms for occupied homes. A majority of our work is owner occupied, and we like the challenge of helping people out with the space that they have, and so they don't have to worry about moving or trying to relocate. So we're working closely with our clients and find new challenges every day. And yeah, we jumped on the podcast to help educate and have those conversations that most people don't have with their builders.
Yeah, I'd like to add to that we love sharing stories and talking with this particular group of builders because we're all like-minded and we all understand that our product is how we make people feel. It's not what we say or what we do. It's really important that we can have that approach and that's how we run our businesses. So it's nice to have like-minded people who do the same thing and are just genuinely trying to help people.
Love it. All right. Louise and Andy.
Hello.
Home.
We're Louise and Andy. We're with Perway Construction Services and we're based here in Perth in WA. And we specialise essentially in healthy, more energy efficient homes and ecopods, or otherwise known as granny flats. Yeah, we're here really, as Shannon just said, that our product is our client experience and that journey that they can go on. And we've just known from so many clients that have come through that are novices or even have built before or renovated before that it's a huge space to be able to process and to learn and it can be very overwhelming. So I think that we wanted to join this podcast for a number of reasons, to be able to help educate and inform clients so that they can make a more educated and an informed experience and decisions for themselves, and also to connect with like-minded builders that we can learn from as well, and hopefully by sharing our knowledge with each other and sharing our stories that we've worked with and on our clients that we can all learn from, and also the listeners can learn from as well, and hopefully will allow for them to have a better experience in their journeys, wherever they're at in that.
Yeah, that's coming off Louise there, guys. I'm Andy. I'm the owner director of Perway with my Western Australian accent. I want to be a part of this podcast because there is so much out there and you hear the horrible stories what's happening. Just by giving some gold nuggets from our lessons or gains, what we've learned, and if that can educate someone through this podcast and help them through their journey, and it could be 1, 2, 3 years away, but just by sharing our gold nuggets could be a big wow moment for them and for tradies too, because we're all friends and we're with the like-minded people here, but there's certain tradies out there that are struggling and they think that they want to give up because they're not doing it right, but they are doing it right. It's just finding the right people, and having this podcast, I'm trying to help more tradies now because we need tradies and we need people coming through, and we just need to make sure that they don't give up and they keep coming, because construction it's great, and I think this is going to be amazing for everyone. So I'm looking forward to what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I think we'll try and wrap things up, but I just thought, just to finish off, when it comes to this initial episode, would be if there was one gold nugget that you wanted to actually drop right at the beginning, to anybody that's out there that's listening to this or watching it. From your point of view and listening to everybody else as they've sort of discussed their purpose here today, what would be your gold nugget that you'd want to take away from a podcast like this? We'll start with Matt.
We've discussed this many times before. I think building a relationship with your builder at the start is the most important thing. Don't always be out there trying to search for the cheapest possible price. It's just going to set you up for the worst experience of your life. You'll end up having things that you'll miss, that you expected to be in there that aren't allowed for. The trust factor at the start is to build that relationship with the builder and allow a builder to build the trust with you. You know, give them all the information you can, and then let us be able to take you on a great experience and a great journey.
Yeah, brilliant. Wayno and Lee.
I would say pretty much what Matt was saying, that a lot of people that come to you, they don't know where to start. I think a lot of people, because they don't really know the best spot to start, they will go to a drafts person or an architect, and that may be good in some instances, but what we do find is a lot of people have already got plans done and they're already going to be way over budget. So if you can start the process with a builder that you can trust and get a connection with, and then engage the architect or draftsman once you've worked out budgets and what's feasible, because a lot of plans never ever get built. So because of that factor. So
yeah, Wayne's touched on the client. I'll touch on the tradies then. So my gold nugget would be when we first started in our builders group, builders business belt. The best thing that we got out of that, besides mindset, and is knowing our hourly rate. We need, working that out, knowing how much everything costs, because we could have all the information and all the good feels and all the good things that our coaches taught us, but without the right amount that we're charging, we will still be going backwards. So knowing what we need to charge was the biggest thing that we needed to know, and is probably my gold nugget for any tradie that will be listening to this podcast.
Wonderful. Paul, well, what's a gold nugget from the capital of Australia?
Yeah, I think it's important to take your time, not to rush into building. It's a big step for most people, the biggest step they make in their life. So find a builder that's prepared to take the time to sit and talk with you and work through things with you, instead of rushing out and doing the wrong thing, getting plans drawn first that aren't going to work because you don't have a budget. And or just someone saying, "Oh yeah, that'll be fine. We'll do this, do that." Some salesman sells you something really quickly, and away you go off on a tangent, and it doesn't work out. So I think that's the most important thing that a lot of people need to understand. And it's not like it's not really like those shows on TV where they renovate a house overnight. They'd be very wary of that sort of thing, because it's not really how it works. It's never going to end well.
Well, considering the block is on TV right now, they're getting smashed. Dean and Shannon.
My biggest gold nugget is and I have this conversation with a lot of prospective clients, especially if they've got plans. The building work will happen. The plans outlay everything that's in the building. It's how the builder makes you feel. The communication that you get to start with, the end product will be the same. The communication skills and the understanding from a builder that you can trust is one of the most important things when it comes to starting and looking at a project. At the end of the day, the plans all read the same. So I think it's understanding that the communication is a lot more important than people realise. I think that's my biggest gold nugget.
Mine would be to the client or the prospects that if you've previously been burnt by a builder, not to shy away from trying it again. There are a lot of amazing builders out there, very skilled tradesmen, and businesses that will look after you. So it's the industry has a bit of a reputation that we're trying to turn around, and we will do it from all across Australia, one client at a time, but just don't shy away from doing work if you've been badly burnt before, because we hear the stories all the time.
Louise and Andy.
Probably, yes, similar to everyone else. I think for me, it's that golden triangle of at the beginning of your project, that it's the builder, designer, and client working as that team formation that will set you up for a successful experience. That the designer can get their ideas out. The builder can advise on that constructability and budget, but also work it in with you as the homeowner. If you have that as a team collaboration and thinking of it as a team, and not just that the builder is working for you or the designer is working for you, that you're all together, is going to set you up for success. And also just to have the expectations that things do take time, and it's not planned today, build tomorrow. That it's having the expectation that depending on the size of your renovation, that it's going to take a few months. It's going to take a while between working through those different consultants, but to allow for that, because if you rush it, then you don't want to have that outcome of a poor experience. That you have taken the time to think things through, to work with a building team that you really are the right fit for, and a right fit with. The both, it works both ways, and that's going to set you up for success in the future.
Off me there, guys, is the cheapest is not all the best, and I've done a lot of on-site consultations now over my journey as a builder, and I've heard so many people that went for a cheap builder and it just turned into disaster. And when I dive into them conversations, because that's what we do now, we actually sit around that table and I've nearly the arms across. So when you find that builder and you find the builder that you think he might be a bit expensive, but if he has good processes and systems, it doesn't matter how long it's going to take, because it is a journey. So that's my goal nugget. Just make sure you find someone, and if you like them, snap them up, because they're hard to find nowadays.
That was brilliant. Well, I'll keep my gold nugget short. It is compare apples with apples. When you're balancing your checkbook, but also one builder against another, is always going to be that, are they offering what we need? Are they covering all the bases? And are we actually comparing them fairly against each other? Because we see it so much that if it comes down to a dollar figure, you're going to be comparing, and you could go with someone that's cheaper if you want, but is the experience going to be the same? Are you going to get that good experience with those guys? And at the end of the day, we always remember things after a build's finished.
Awesome.
That's where we sit. But thank you very much, guys. Appreciate all your time. And let's kick this off with a great podcast series for homeowners and people looking to do stuff in the future.
Thanks, Hugh. I think that just one thing to recommend is, if anyone is listening to the podcast and wants to ask some questions or, request some guests on, if they can put that into the show notes, and we'll be happily able to look into that and see if we can, definitely answer the questions, but potential get the guests onto the show. And
Wonderful.
Happy listening.
We'll see everybody again soon, and thanks everybody for joining.
Thanks for tuning in to Builders Beyond Borders. If today's episode helped you feel more prepared, clearer, or more confident, share it with a mate who's planning their own build or reno. Got a question about building, renovating, or working with tradies? Send it our way. We might cover it in a future episode. And don't forget to hit follow or subscribe so you never miss the real stories, practical tips, and builder insights we've got coming your way. Everything shared on this podcast is based on our experiences and those of our guests. It's general info only. Any reliance on the information provided is done at your own risk.